Bumble by Nanny Linda. Mrs. Beatrice Bumble lives in a pretty cottage home down a quiet leafy lane where the woodland creatures roam. She loves the colour yellow as well as the colour black and makes all her own clothes in these colours. She certainly has the knack. She has a happy hobby of keeping bees in a garden hive and sells all the honey that they produce to a local shopkeeper called Clive. Beatrice has some neighbours that live in the lane nearby. There is the youngest, little baby Max, then Dorothea and the eldest Lorelei. Lorelei is a lovely big sister who is a clever little girl. She plays the guitar, loves gymnastics and can surf the waves as well. Dorothea is her younger sis who loves to colour her hair. She likes to wear makeup and jewellery and paints her nails with such care. Their little baby brother is such a happy little lad, always smiling and cheerful, and you very rarely see him sad. Beatrice likes her neighbours, who will always stop and say hello, and she always enjoys a chat with them on her way to the village for bingo. Beatrice Bumble's honey is so popular far and wide, so when she gives the girls a jar, their smiles they just can't hide. "Thank you very much, Mrs. Bumble," Lorelei and Dorothea always say. "We can have it on our yogurt or on a piece of bread. We really love it that way." Beatrice Bumble's garden is so very colourful and bright, blooming with yellow flowers that spread their scent into the night. All of Beatrice Bumble's little hive of bees buzz around the garden, in the flowers and in the trees. They will spend all their day buzzing, darting here and there, then fly back to the hive for supper time and their stories they will share. Some tell how they had flown around the neighbour's garden that day and how they had made the little girls scream when they were outside at play. Some told how they had flown to Farmer Lander's meadow and danced around the buttercups and how the cows had bellowed. Others told how they had flown down beside the river and played amongst the wild flowers and in the fern and in the heather. One morning Beatrice Bumble received a letter in the mail from her darling little daughter who lives many miles away in Hale. "I am coming to visit you for your birthday and hope that I can stay so we can go out on a shopping trip and I can treat you in some way." Beatrice had a great idea to celebrate the day. She would invite her neighbour friends and they could come and play. So the very next day when Beatrice saw her lovely neighbours as she was passing by, she asked them if they liked cake and parties. "Oh yes," they both replied. "Well, come along on Friday when you get home from school. We can have a birthday cake tea in the garden and sit in the shade of the tree and keep cool." "Yippee! Yippee, yippee!" Lorelei and Dorothea cried. "We will have to buy Mrs. Bumble a present. Let's hope Mummy can decide." Mummy had a great idea to buy a jumper that she had seen in stripes of yellow and black. Mrs. Bumble would feel like a queen. So the day of Beatrice's birthday had arrived, and so did her daughter too, and they spent a lovely day shopping in town and then paid a visit to the zoo. And then Beatrice bought the biggest cake that she had ever seen, bumblebees iced around the top. It was an absolute cake lover's dream. On Friday, Lorelei and Dorothea walked down the lane with Beatrice's present all neatly wrapped and walked up the path through the pretty garden, and on the door they tapped. "Hello, hello, my lovely friends. Welcome to my home. Thank you for coming to my party. Let me introduce you to my daughter Joan." Lorelei and Dorothea and Beatrice and Joan had an absolutely brilliant time, eating cake and playing party games, but so soon it was nearly 9. Beatrice was so happy. She had enjoyed such a fabulous day, celebrating with her neighbours coming to her party and also with her daughter coming to stay. Beatrice went to bed that night and was in such a very happy place. She was wearing her new stripy jumper and had a big smile upon her face.